Good afternoon and welcome to the Public Service Commission of South Carolina. It is Thursday, February 9th at 2:01 p.m. and we are here for the regularly scheduled commission business meeting notice for today. Let's take a roll call of commissioners. With us virtually we have Commissioner Irvin and Commissioner Caston, and present in the hearing room we have Commissioner J. Williams, Vice Chair Powers, Commissioner Thomas, Commissioner C. Williams, and Chair Belser. Before we begin, would you join me for a moment of silent reflection? Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Mr. Scarborough.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair. Good afternoon, Vice Chair Powers and Commissioners. First order of business is to set the next commission business meeting. Staff recommends that the next regularly scheduled meeting be held in 2 weeks on Thursday, February the 23rd, 2023 at 2:00 p.m.
We will set our next business meeting for February 23rd at 2 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Today we have 21 items on the utilities agenda and 7 items on the transportation agenda. Item number 1 is in docket number 2004-48C. This is the notice of change of control filed on behalf of Spectratel Incorporated, Spectratel Ultimate Holdings, LLC, and Spectratel of the South, LLC.
Commissioners, with regard to agenda item 1, is there a motion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Irvin.
Thank you. I move the commission accept as information the filing regarding the transfer of control of Spectratel of the South LLC, doing business as One Touch Communications, to Spectratel Ultimate Holdings LLC. So moved.
Thank you. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Irvin. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner J. Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner C. Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 2 is in docket number 2016-279C, which is the petition by IM Telecom, LLC, doing business as Infinity Mobile, to expand its eligible telecommunications carrier service area on an expedited basis.
With regard to agenda item number 2, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Thomas.
thank you. IM Telecom, LLC, doing business as Infinity Mobile, has requested expansion of its designated ETC service area to become statewide to provide lifeline service to qualifying South Carolina households. ORS filed a letter on January the 30th, 2023, and does not object to the company's petition, and there were no other interveners in this docket. The petition is consistent with the public interest in accordance with SC Code annotated section 58-4-10. I move that the commission approve the application.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Thomas. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner J. Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner C. Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 3 is in docket number 2021-336C. This is CenturyTel Broadband Services LLC's request to amend its certificate to read Brightspeed Broadband LLC without notice or hearing.
With regard to agenda item 3, do I hear a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion.
Vice Chair Powers.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move the commission grant the request of CenturyTel Broadband Services LLC to amend its certificate of public convenience and necessity by changing its name to Brightspeed Broadband LLC without notice of hearing. There will be no change in retail or wholesale rates or other terms. Customers currently served by CenturyTel Broadband Services LLC shall be notified of this name change by the company via bill insert or other means. So moved.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Vice Chair Powers. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Vice Chair Powers.
I vote aye.
Commissioner C. Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner J. Williams.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 4 is in docket numbers 1988-481C, 2002-158C, and 2022-348C. This is a request from Low Country Carriers Incorporated, doing business as Hargray Long Distance, to cancel its certificate of public convenience and necessity and its tariff.
With regard to agenda item number 4, do I have a motion?
Madam Chair, fellow commissioners, I move that the commission grant the request of Low Country Carriers doing business as Hargray Long Distance to cancel its certificate of public convenience and necessity. The company is no longer operating in South Carolina and does not have any customers in South Carolina. So moved.
Thank you. Commissioners, we've heard the motion of Commissioner J. Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner J. Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner C. Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 5 also appears in docket numbers 1988-481C, 2002-158C, and 2022-348C. This is Bluffton Telephone Company Incorporated's notice of corporate conversion of new name and request for waiver of publication.
With regard to agenda item 5, as identified by Mr. Scarborough, do I hear a motion?
Madam Chair, fellow commissioners, I move that the commission grant the request for name change and for waiver of publication, for the following name changes of Hargray Telephone Company to Hargray Telephone Company LLC, Bluffton Telephone Company Incorporated to Bluffton Telephone LLC, and Hargray Incorporated to Hargray LLC. I'll note, Madam Chair and fellow commissioners, that the companies have stated the name changes will be transparent to existing customers with no change in communication services pursuant to existing tariffs. I further move that the commission records and records be updated to reflect the name changes. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion of Commissioner J. Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner J. Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner C. Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item numbers 6 and 7 can be taken together. These items appear in docket numbers 2019-224E, 2019-225E, and 2021-10E. Staff presents for commission consideration approval of the updated integrated resource plans of Duke Energy Carolinas LLC and Duke Energy Progress LLC.
With regard to agenda items 6 and 7, as identified by Mr. Scarborough, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Irvin.
thank you. I move that the commission accept the 2022 Integrated Resource Plan annual updates of Duke Energy Progress LLC and Duke Energy Carolinas LLC, collectively referred to as Duke Companies. Office of Regulatory Staff offered in its comments 18 recommendations for the Duke Companies to include in the 2023 comprehensive IRPs. Many of the recommendations were included as requirements by the Commission in order number 2021-447, which is the Duke Companies, where the Duke companies acknowledge that it must comply in the upcoming 2023 comprehensive IRPs. I further move that the Commission adopt the following 5 additional recommendations from ORS in order, PEC and DEP, to address these in its 2023 comprehensive IRPs. Each of the recommendations will provide the Commission with information about the cost and benefits of the company's resource plans and ensure that important information is supplied to the Commission. 5 recommendations are as follows. 1, ORS reports recommendation 9, which is to continue to model both the company-owned and power purchase agreement solar as selectable resource options and not arbitrarily limit the selection of PPA solar resources. 2, ORS report recommendation number 11, include in a comprehensive coal retirement analysis to determine the most economic retirement dates while preserving reliability. 3, ORS reports recommendation number 12, include a portfolio that is optimized utilizing the economic coal retirement dates developed without carbon taxes and that does not include any carbon dioxide or CO2 reduction constraints. 4, the companies should include the impacts of extreme weather events and the reliability analysis performed as part of the target reserve margin study used in the upcoming 2023 comprehensive IRPs. DEC and DEP are also required to develop and include a resiliency plan to deal with reliability during severe weather events so as to reduce the need for rolling blackouts in their 2023 IRPs. 5, DEC and DEP should also include an analysis of the financial impacts of federal investment tax credits contained in the IRA and the IIJA in their 2023 comprehensive IRPs, specifically as it relates to the selection of future generation resources. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Irvin. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Irvin. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner J. Williams?
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers?
Aye.
Commissioner C. Williams?
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 8 appears in docket number 2023-3E, which is Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated's notification of the implementation of a paperless billing auto-enroll program.
Commissioners, we've heard Mr. Scarborough identify item 8 on the utilities agenda. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair, fellow commissioners, I move that we accept Dominion's filing for information purposes. So move.
Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner J. Williams. Is there any discussion?
Chair Belzer,
Commissioner Carolee Williams?
thank you. Thank you for your motion, Commissioner Williams. I am concerned about the impact of paperless billing. I applaud the paperless billing approach, and am concerned about the determination of contacting the identified parties. They've been very specifically targeted and in a good kind of way. And I have additional questions. So my substitute motion is as follows. I move that Dominion Energy South Carolina answer the following questions within 10 business days. What are the pros and cons of using an opt-out versus an opt-in for paperless billing? Are there other communication techniques and incentives that have been considered to encourage opting in? Was paper notice considered for this notification for opting out? Will they report on lessons learned from Phase 1 and changes to the program prior to the Phase 2 rollout? What are the estimates for savings or funds needed to implement this program? And do they plan to report on these costs in the next rate case? That is my substitute motion.
As we have a substitute motion, we will discuss the substitute motion first. Commissioners, is there any discussion on Commissioner C. Williams' substitute motion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner J. Williams.
Madam Chair, fellow commissioners, regarding the substitute motion by Commissioner Williams, I definitely can understand why there may be some concern about a program that opts in as opposed to, mandatory opt-in through phases as opposed to allowing the opportunity to opt in. I don't share those same concerns, and I think that from a philosophical standpoint, there's a line between regulating the utilities and managing the utilities. Here, I think this is a management decision where the company has notified us what they plan to do based on what they believe is in the best interest of the utility and the customers. Here, all the customers that would be opted into this program are already paying their bill through some electronic format, either auto draft or going online to their online accounts and using their either bank account or their debit card. Not only that, the company will let each customer know that they are going to receive their last paper bill and give them the opportunity to opt out at that time if they want to. I'm not going to go through the entire letter, but it seems pretty clear to me that the program is well thought out. And I would say that as opposed to requiring the company to do more than what they've already done, we accept the information as presented, allow the company to manage the business as they see fit in this regard. And then if there are issues with the program at the next rate case, we can take them up then. But I respect your motion.
Madam Chair.
Thank you. Is that Commissioner Caston?
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry, it's Commissioner Caston.
You have the floor.
Thank you. I certainly understand Commissioner Jay Williams' thoughts, comments, and I have no interest in telling the company how to run their business. That said, I do think certainly if it makes sense to me, and I think it makes a good business decision sense, obviously, for Dominion. So I'm not sure it would be an excessive burden to have them to respond to those questions, because if it is a good business decision, which I'm sure it is, you know, what are the costs? What are the cost savings? With all due respect, I don't see why answering those questions would be an issue. So I'm inclined to agree with Commissioner Carolee Williams.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, any other discussion?
Madam Chair.
Madam Chair.
I heard Commissioner Thomas first, Commissioner Irvin, so I'll get back to you in a
Go ahead.
second. Commissioner Thomas?
Thank you. I appreciate the comments by both Commissioner Williamses, and I think they both bring out some good points. But I, like Commissioner Caston, I don't think it would hurt to have a little bit more information. So I will be supporting Commissioner Carolee Williams' motion.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Irvin?
Thank you. I also agree with Commissioner Caston and Commissioner Thomas, and I will support Commissioner Carolee Williams' alternative motion for these reasons. First of all, there's going to be substantial cost up front, and as I recall the letter saying that there'll be additional costs to follow. We need to make sure that those costs are just and reasonable before they're expended. Waiting for a rate case, we run the risk of not having proper opportunity to weigh in on those costs and benefits. And that's the main reason that I think we should look at it now before it's implemented. Certainly the other point I have is that you can't create customer confusion when you're pushed into a program that you have no prior notice or opportunity to learn about. And so is it better to have a mandatory opt-in versus a possible opt-out option? And thirdly, we just simply need more information about why this change is needed, and bottom line is how will it affect other ratepayers that will have to bear the cost and subsidize the service that will be provided to certain account holders and not others. For those reasons, I'll support Carolee Williams' motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Vice Chair Powers, do you have a comment?
No comment.
I'm sorry, I just saw your light on. Commissioner Jay Williams?
Thank you, Madam Chair. With all due respect, Commissioner Urban, I'm not sure if we're referencing the same filing or the same plan, but there's no cost mentioned in the filing made by Dominion Energy South Carolina. And every customer that will be opted into this program already has an online account, already pays their bill either through auto draft or through the online account. I think Dominion has approximately 750,000 customers. This program, based on the filing, will impact roughly 160,000 of those 800,000 customers who are already enrolled in an online account, just for clarification purposes.
Thanks for sharing that information, but I still think we need more information. I've never seen a program that didn't have some cost involved, and I think it's a fair question to ask, and so I respectfully will be voting with Commissioner Carolee Williams.
Commissioner Carolee Williams?
Thank you, Chair Belzer. I just wanted to comment to Commissioner Williams that I agree with him. I don't want to micromanage the company, and I debated very heavily making the substitute motion, but the push for me is to, as quickly as possible, get some more information so that we can be in a position where we can comfortably say yes to this program that they are about to embark on. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioners, we will vote on the substitute motion to ask questions of Dominion regarding this program, beginning with Commissioner Carolee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Jay Williams.
I vote no.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. The substitute motion passes. Therefore, we will not need to vote on the original motion.
Item number 9 is in docket number 2022-254E. Staff presents for commission consideration final disposition of this docket number 2022-254E.
With regard to agenda item 9, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Vice Chair Powers?
I move the commission approve the settlement agreement, which involves a comprehensive agreement of all the issues by all the parties. I move the commission authorize Duke Energy Progress LLC the opportunity to earn a 9.6% ROE with the cost of debt of 3.77% and a capital structure consisting of 47.57% debt and 52.43% common equity, which results in an annual base revenue increase of $52,297,000, or approximately an 8.83% increase from current rates, exclusive of riders and mitigation measures contemplated in this settlement agreement. This to be effective April 1st, 2023. The rates generate an annual net base revenue increase equaling $35,871,000, or approximately 5.81%, inclusive of riders and mitigation measures contemplated in this settlement agreement, to be effective April 1st, 2023. I would so move, Madam Chair, but would have some comments I'd like to add to that.
Thank you, Commissioners. We've heard the motion from Vice Chair Powers. Recognize Vice Chair Powers for discussion.
Thank you. I'd just like to say that this commission, I think all of us realize this is tough economic times, particularly for this particular area. And we recognize uncertainties and difficulties that ratepayers in this area are dealing with. I think there's also some misunderstanding publicly that we are party in these matters. We are not. In this case, the representative agencies of the general public, the consumers, the environmental interests, and all business industries all agree this settlement agreement is proper. And I feel we have to accept they feel it's in the best interest of the public, the consumers, and the environmental interests, business interests, and the ones they speak for. Having said that, we also heard at length from citizens of this service area in Sumter, Florence, and Bishopville in night hearings. What we heard in many instances seems to me almost horrific, of hard choices between heat and medicine, of cold showers, cold houses in the winter, and the inability to stay cool in the summer months. At the same time, we also heard of neighbors helping neighbors and those who were there not to speak for themselves, but for the less fortunate. The law says utilities are entitled to returns that are just and reasonable. Under the framework of the law, I feel this is an agreement that we must accept. I'm a PD born and raised, live there now. I've lived in 4 different counties in the PD and had a law office in a 5th. I know this poverty exists. I know the hardships that are faced there. I encourage this utility and others to be aware of not just the numbers, but of the people they serve, to go above and beyond to educate and assist ratepayers to be able to make ends meet, to make their homes more energy efficient, and to make their lives better. I'm asking this company and others not to just be good corporate citizens, but be good neighbors. Listen to the people we heard from. It's hard for me to think of the suffering without making this plea. And I thank you, Madam Chair, for allowing me to add this to it. I guess I'm speaking from my heart, not my head on some of this, but thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chair Powers. Commissioners, further discussion?
Madam Chair?
Commissioner Justin
Madam Chair.
Williams? Commissioner Williams?
Madam Chair, fellow commissioners, I'd like to thank Commissioner Powers for making that heartfelt, first making the motion and then the heartfelt comments. I share his sentiments. A couple of things I want to point out. I want to recognize the company, the Office of Regulatory Staff, and the Department of Consumer Affairs, particularly the Consumer Advocate and AARP, for the work that they did during the public night hearings. I think since my time on the commission, the public night hearings were some of the most impactful hearings that I participated in. I would like to thank all the attendees who took time out of their evenings to come and share information with us for our consideration. I'd like to thank the farmers who shared information with us as well that we would not have access to. I wanted to thank the company because during each public night hearing, they had a team ready and available to address customer concerns. And I think that goes a long way considering what we heard. There seems to be not widespread understanding of how the regulatory scheme in South Carolina works and just general issues with billing. So I wanted to acknowledge and thank the company for that, but also thank the Office of Regulatory Staff and Department of Consumer Affairs for being present as well, especially the Office of Regulatory Staff for having a one-page summary document to clearly and easily explain to ratepayers what the company was asking for. This is not a easy role, as all the commissioners know. We have to weigh many interests that come to a fair and balanced outcome. I think the parties worked very hard to reach this agreement, and I appreciate the parties working so hard to do what probably would not have been the outcome of a commission order, because we're limited as to what we can order. I share the sentiments of Commissioner Powers to encourage not only the company, but just all interveners to think about creative solutions to some of the problems that we heard at the public night hearings. I don't think a rate case is the only time that the utility, the Office of Regulatory Staff, or even the Department of Consumer Affairs can go out into the service territory and conduct stakeholder meetings with residents regarding the service that they're receiving and the questions that they have. I know a part of this settlement is to create some stakeholder programs and to work with members of the community to serve as a resource for education. And I hope that that program works. Also want to acknowledge Ms. Reese who during the course of the settlement conference or hearing was able to testify to riders and rates, if you will, that take into consideration those that are below the federal poverty line. I think one of the witnesses testified there are about 10,000 households in the service territory that are on some type of special program for those that are less fortunate. And I just encourage the parties to develop those programs to make them as robust as possible. We heard some about what's going on in North Carolina, but the programs are not established yet in South Carolina. So again, it goes apart, in my opinion, of being a good neighbor, is to look out for those who have a difficult time looking out for themselves while also being fair to all the ratepayers in the service territory. So thank you, everyone, for all your hard work. That's all I have, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair, this is Commissioner Caston.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Commissioner Caston, you have the floor.
Thank you, and I don't certainly want to repeat what the others have said. I agree with them totally. I did also notice that Mr. Callahan, I think President of Energy South Carolina, was attended all those meetings. And I think in the hearing, he also acknowledged a desire for transparency and working toward these things. He heard the same things we heard at those meetings, which I think was good, and I believe it was quite sincere. You know, when he was asked about transparency of bills, you know, showing the itemized items rather than just a number, seemed to be very honest and open about a need, a desire for that. So all the things that are said, I agree, a difficult process, a long process, but I think it's a good process. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston. Any further discussion, Commissioners? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Vice Chair Powers.
I vote aye.
Commissioner C. Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner J. Williams.
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 10 is in docket number 2022-321E. This is Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated's request for like facility determination pursuant to South Carolina Code, annotated section 58-33-110, subsection 1, for construction of the Emory substation and fold-in of the VCS2 Ward 230 kilovolt line.
With regard to utilities, agenda item 10, is there a motion?
Madam Chair, this is Commissioner Caston. I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Caston, you're recognized.
I move that the commission grant the request of Dominion Energy South Carolina for a like facility determination for the construction of the Emory Station and fold-in of VCS2 Ward 230 KV line. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Caston. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner C. Williams.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 11 appears in docket number 1983-307E, which is the application of Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated, formerly known as South Carolina Electric and Gas, for confidential treatment of certain portions of the trustees' annual report.
With regard to agenda item 11 as identified by Mr. Scarborough, do I hear a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Thomas.
I move that the commission grant the request of Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated for confidential treatment of certain portions of the trustees' annual report. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Thomas. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner C. Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 12 appears in docket number 2023-33G. This is a request for approval of the service agreement with Firm Gas between Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated and Monmouth Rubber Corporation.
Regarding Utilities Agenda Item 12, is there a motion?
Madam Chair, this is Commissioner Caston. I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Caston.
I move that the commission approve the service agreement with Firm Gas between Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated and Monmouth Rubber Corporation. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Caston. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner J. Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
Commissioner C. Williams.
I vote aye.
Chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 13 is in docket number 2019-108G. This is a notice of filing of the 25th Amendment to the contract related to the Fort Jackson Natural Gas Distribution System between the U.S. Department of Defense and Dominion Energy South Carolina.
With regard to Utilities Agenda Item 13, is there a motion?
Madam Chair, fellow commissioners, I move that the commission accept for filing the 25th Amendment to the United States Department of Defense contract at Fort Jackson filed on behalf of Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner J. Williams. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Justin Williams.
I vote aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
Commissioner C. Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 14 is in docket number 2022-371EG. This is Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated's application for approval to implement a prepay program and a request for partial waiver of certain regulations.
With regard to Agenda Item 14, is there a motion?
Chair Belser, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Carolee Williams.
Thank you. I move that the commission approve Dominion Energy South Carolina, Inc.'s application to implement a prepay program and request for partial waiver of certain regulations. By letter dated December 22nd, 2022, ORS does not object to the commission approval of the partial waiver of South Carolina Code Annotated Regs 103-352 and 103-452. This waiver permits Dominion Energy South Carolina to provide electronic notification of a potential disconnection of service rather than a mailed notice and be relieved of its obligation to offer a deferred payment plan to prepay customers. The Commission and ORS reserve the right to review the prudency of any cost and make decisions or recommendations related to this program in subsequent filings where cost recovery of the program may be examined. I also move that Dominion Energy South Carolina provide updates to the Commission and ORS at 2 points. At the conclusion of the soft launch and prior to the beginning of the rollout to existing customers or after the initial 12 months of operation, whichever is sooner, this report should include metrics as well as a financial update and reconciliation of estimated cost and whether or not there has been an increase or decrease in the estimated amount of $459,000 in initial program cost. And the second report would be 12 months after the initial report. I further move that Dominion Energy South Carolina answer the following questions within 10 business days of the issuance of this directive order. What does the $459,000 cover? What is the cost of the program following the initial phase of $459,000? And what will that cover? What savings does Dominion Energy South Carolina anticipate from this program? I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Carolee Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll
Chair
call.
Belser, I was a little slow at that.
Oh, Commissioner Williams, you're recognized.
I want to thank Dominion Energy for their follow-up and the specificity of their answers. More information produced greater transparency and enhanced my confidence in the prepay program. This program is designed for customers to prepay their energy bills and in exchange enjoy more real-time information about their account status, as well as prepay portions of all of their monthly bill. The prepay program is designed to capture daily usage and provides billings as often as daily. The program is designed to take advantage of emailing customers with current account balances, as well as allows customers to participate in text notifications as well as push notifications on Dominion's app. The timing, delivery, method, information provided is reasonable to support monthly, weekly, and even daily payments. As proposed, it serves as a meaningful alternative to a deferred payment plan for customers who enroll. It's a 21st century solution for customers who want to pay for their energy in real time. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Commissioners, any further discussion? Hearing
Madam
none.
Chair,
Commissioner Justin Williams.
in terms of, I just have one question. Our approval of this program is not contingent on any cost savings. We're just asking for the information.
To document that information.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Any further discussion? We'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Carolee Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 15 is in dockets number 2022-93E and 2022-97E. This is a notification from the South Carolina Public Service Commission Authority, South Carolina Public Service Authority, regarding amendments to the power purchase agreements with S.R. Lambert I LLC and S.R. Lambert II LLC, both dated December 29th, 2020, for the purchase and sale of renewable energy and related projects.
With regard to utilities, agenda item 15, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Vice Chair Powers.
thank you. I move the commission accepts for informational purposes only the Public Service Authority's notification regarding amendments to the power purchase agreements with S.R. Lambert I LLC and S.R. Lambert II LLC.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Vice Chair Powers. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
Commissioner C. Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner J. Williams.
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 16 is in docket numbers 2022-239E and 2022-240E. This concerns a motion by the Office of Regulatory Staff to hold in abeyance commission determination of proposed accounting and rate-making treatment and a request for a deferral, motion to strike, and expedited review.
With regard to agenda item 16, is there a motion?
Madam Chair, this is Commissioner Caston. I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Caston,
I move that the commission deny ORS's motion to hold in abeyance commission determination of proposed accounting and rate-making treatment and request for deferral. In this docket, commission is tasked with determining whether or not the 2022 solar procurement program is in the public interest. Depending on that determination and the evidence of record, the commission may consider whether or not to grant the request for an accounting order. I so move.
thank you, Commissioner Caston. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Caston. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
I vote no.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams.
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 17 is in docket number 2022-300A, which is Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated's motion to transfer prior comments to this docket, or in the alternative, to accept the comments as late filed comments.
With regard to agenda item 17, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Thomas?
I move that the commission grant the request of Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated to include the prior comments of DESC in docket number 2020-247A, and to further accept these comments as late filed comments. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, with regard to the motion of Commissioner Thomas, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams?
I vote aye.
Vice Chair Powers?
Aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams?
Aye.
Commissioner Caston?
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 18 is in docket number 2017-242E. This is a request from Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated for approval to sell real property in Charleston, South Carolina to 141 Community Park LLC without engaging in the competitive bid process.
Commissioners, we've heard agenda item 18 is identified by Mr. Scarborough. Is there a motion?
Chair Belzer, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Carolee Williams?
Thank you. I move that the Commission approve Dominion Energy South Carolina, Inc.'s request for approval to sell real property to 141 Community Park LLC. This approval is consistent with Order Number 2022-816, in which the Commission allowed a waiver of the competitive bid requirement established by Order Number 2021-358. ORS has indicated that it has reviewed this matter, including the appraisal, and does not object to the company's request for approval to sell the property or to the company's request of a waiver of the bid requirement. As noted in its letter to the Commission, ORS reserves its right to review and propose any necessary adjustments or recommendations regarding the accounting and regulatory treatment applied by the company in a future rate proceeding. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner C. Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Carolee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston?
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams?
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers?
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 19 appears in docket number 2022-356C. This is the application of Sandhill Connections LLC for limited designation as an eligible telecommunications carrier in all areas where the company is authorized as a competitive local exchange carrier in South Carolina. Approval of a stipulation and a motion for expedited review.
With regard to Utilities Agenda Item 19, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Vice Chair Powers?
thank you. I move the Commission approve the application of Sandhill Connections LLC and adopt the stipulation between Connections and the Office of Regulatory Staff, thus granting limited designation to Connections as an eligible telecommunications carrier for the sole purpose of offering lifeline services through the provision of discounted, unlimited, local and long-distance voice telephone service and high-speed discounted broadband service offerings to qualifying South Carolina households within its limited ETC area. The limited ETC area for Connections will be in all areas where Connections is an authorized competitive local exchange carrier in South Carolina. Connections is a competitive local exchange carrier in Darlington, Dillon, and Marlborough counties, and portions of Chesterfield and Kershaw counties. So move.
Thank you, Vice Chair Powers. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Vice Chairman. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Vice Chair Powers.
Vote aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 20 is in docket number 2005-83A. Staff presents for Commission consideration procedures concerning allowable ex parte communication briefings.
With regard to utilities, agenda item 20, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Powers?
thank you again. I move the commission modify the allowable ex parte communication briefing procedures and require that all persons who wish to view the allowable ex parte communications briefing must appear in person at the location of the briefing. The commission will no longer live stream the briefings real time. No other modifications to the procedures are changing. Videos of the briefings will continue to be posted on the commission's website for viewing. Also, as required by statute, any presentation materials used in the briefing and the transcript of that briefing will be posted on the commission's docket management system. So moved.
Thank you, Vice Chair Powers. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from the Vice Chairman. Is there any discussion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Justin Williams?
Madam Chair, I'm happy to support Vice Chair Powers' motion simply because it seems as if having an open process for our allowable ex parte briefings has become laborious on the commission staff, considering that we have to collect those attendance forms and certifications. And unfortunately, everyone that attends on the live stream in real time does not always agree to return those forms, which creates issues down the stream. I don't think if there are any public questions of transparency, I don't think that Vice Chair Powers' motion frustrates transparency in any way, considering that all the information available during the briefing and the briefing itself will be available for public viewing on our website once complete. So I'm happy to support Commissioner Powers' motion.
Thank you,
Excuse me, Vice Chair Powers.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Commissioners, any further discussion? Commissioner Williams, I echo your comments. Sometimes getting the certification forms, which are required to be included in the certification package that ORS must submit, it's been difficult to get those forms back from some folks that perhaps are not in state or elsewhere, located elsewhere. And it might just be that they don't understand the importance or the ramifications of not returning those forms, but be that as it may, that has happened on a number of occasions. And with the fact that attendees do not get to ask questions or participate in the ex parte communication briefings, but are really just observing it, the video will still be available after the fact on the website, and as required by the statute, all the materials and the transcript will be available. I think it's 72 hours after the briefing that they'll be available on the DMS. So people with any interest will still be able to view and read what transpired during the briefing. So I will be supporting the motion as well. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Vice Chair Powers.
I vote aye.
Commissioner C. Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 21 is in docket number 2022-401E. This is a request of Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated for approval of revisions to its Rate 17, Rate 18, Rate 25, Rate 26, and residential subdivision street lighting tariffs.
With regard to utilities agenda item 21, is there a motion?
Chair Belzer, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner C. Williams.
Thank you. I move that the commission approve Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated's request for approval of revisions to its Rate 17, Rate 18, Rate 25, Rate 26, and residential subdivision street lighting tariffs. By letter dated January 25th, 2023, ORS does not object to the approval of Dominion Energy South Carolina's request.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Carolyn Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Carolyn Williams.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
I vote aye. The motion carries.
Madam Chair, that completes the utilities agenda before the commission. So moving on to the motor carrier agenda, items 1 through 3 are all requests for Class C certificates. Staff recommends that these items be taken together, and I will review them for the commission. Item number 1 appears in docket number 2023-31T, which is the application of Jesse's Heart NEMT LLC for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item number 2 is in docket number 2023-32T. This is the application of Chapel Adult Care LLC for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item number 3 is in docket number 2023-34T, which is the application of M&J Rides LLC, doing business as TST, for a Class C charter certificate.
Thank you, Mr. Scarborough. With regard to items 1 through 3 on the transportation agenda as identified by Mr. Scarborough, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Thomas.
I move that the commission approve the applications for Class C certificates and items numbers 1 through 3 as listed by Mr. Scarborough.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Thomas. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 4 is in docket number 2022-116T, which is a request of Greenville Moving Company LLC for a 6-month extension of time to comply with commission rules and regulations. But the company's Class E certificate was issued on February the 7th, 2023. Therefore, the company's request for an extension is now moot. Moving on to item number 5, which appears in docket number 2022-297T. This is a request of MK Senior Transportation LLC for a 9-month extension of time to comply with commission rules and regulations.
With regard to transportation agenda item 5, is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion. This is Commissioner Caston.
Commissioner Caston, you have the floor.
I move that the commission grant the request of MK Senior Transportation LLC for an extension of time until September 28th, 2023 to comply with commission rules and regulations. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Caston. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams.
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 6 is in docket number 2022-264T. This is a request of Moray Transport LLC for a 6-month extension of time to comply with commission rules and regulations.
I'm sorry, what number? 6, thank you. With regard to transportation agenda item 6, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Vice Chair Powers.
thank you. I move that the commission grant the request of Maury Transport LLC for an extension of time until August 9th, 2023 to comply with commission rules and regulations.
Thank you, Vice Chair Powers. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from the Vice Chairman. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 7 is in docket number 2022-362T. This is a petition of the Office of Regulatory Staff to revoke the certificate of certain motor carriers for failure to file annual reports and/or gross receipts for 2022.
With regard to transportation agenda item 7, is there a motion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Madam Chair, fellow commissioners, I move that the commission grant the request of the Office of Regulatory Staff to revoke the certificates of the following motor carriers for failure to file 2022 annual reports and gross receipts. Blue Chip Moving Company LLC, FCF Moving and Storage LLC, doing business as Good Creek Moving and Storage. Hilton Head Hauling, Junk and Moving LLC, doing business as College Hunks Hauling, Junk and Moving. And finally, Move Myrtle Beach LLC. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Justin Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Madam Chair and Commissioners, this concludes all business noticed before the Commission today.
Thank you, Mr. Scarborough. Commissioners, I would like your permission with regard to Utilities Agenda Item 20, which was a motion by Vice Chair Powers regarding the, allowable ex parte presentations, that directive will take effect after today. We have a allowable ex parte briefing scheduled for immediately following this agenda meeting, and I understand that there are already some folks that have signed up. So we will proceed with your consent, we will proceed under the old process through today and begin this new process tomorrow. Commissioners, any objection? Hearing none, that's how we will proceed. Just wait a second. As that concludes our business noticed for today, we will adjourn this meeting. Our next Commission business meeting is scheduled for Thursday, February 23rd at 2 p.m. Thank you very much and have a good afternoon.